Explained picture this. You have debt. You have bills. You have a vague sense that you should be saving more and investing something and building toward a future that does not feel as financially anxious as the present. But every time you sit down to figure out where to start, you hit the same wall. Do I pay off debt first or build savings first? Do I invest while I still have a car payment? Do I fund my kids' college before I fund my retirement? Do I pay extra on the mortgage or put the money in the market? Every question leads to 3 more questions and nothing gets done because everything feels equally urgent and you cannot do everything at once. That paralysis, the feeling of being financially stuck, not because you lack resources, but because you cannot figure out the right order, is one of the most common and most expensive problems in personal finance. Not because the answers are complicated, because nobody ever gave you a clear sequence. This video is the sequence, 7 steps, done in order, each one building the foundation the next one requires. And the reason the order matters as much as the steps themselves is that financial stability is not built from doing the right things randomly. It is built from doing the right things in the right sequence at the right time. Here is the full framework, step by step, with the math that explains why each one comes before the next. Step 1. Save $1,000 as a starter emergency fund. Not 3 to 6 months of expenses. Not a fully funded safety net. $1,000. Sitting in a separate savings account. Untouched. This sounds too small to matter. It is not. Here is what $1,000 actually does in your financial life. It breaks the debt cycle. The reason most people stay in debt is not that they cannot make progress on their balances. It is that every time they make progress, something unexpected happens. A car repair, a medical bill, a broken appliance, and they put it on the credit card to survive. The debt goes back up. The cycle repeats. The $1,000 buffer is not wealth. It is a circuit breaker. It stops the cycle from resetting every time life happens. Step 1 should take no longer than 30 days. Sell something. Pick up extra hours. Find the $1,000 as fast as possible and stop there. Do not save more than $1,000 yet. The reason will become clear in Step 2. Step 2. Pay off all debt except the mortgage using the debt snowball. List every debt you have except your mortgage. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, medical bills, personal loans, everything. Order them from smallest balance to largest balance. Ignore the interest rates for now. Pay the minimum payment on every debt except the smallest one. On the smallest one, throw every available dollar you can find. When it is gone, take the payment you were making on that debt and add it to the minimum payment on the next smallest. The payments stack and accelerate. The snowball rolls and grows. Here is why smallest to largest instead of highest interest to lowest. Because behavior change requires momentum, and momentum requires wins. Eliminating a $400 debt in the first month creates a psychological victory that keeps people on the plan through month 4 and month 8 and month 14. The mathematically optimal approach, highest interest first, produces slower early wins and higher dropout rates. The best debt payoff strategy is the one people actually finish. The snowball finishes. Most households following this plan with intensity, cutting every non-essential expense, picking up extra income, selling things they do not need, eliminate all non-mortgage debt within 2 years. Some do it in 12 months, some take 3 years. The timeline depends on income and total debt. The math always works if the intensity is real. Step 3. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. Now, the full emergency fund. Now that the debt payments are gone and cash flow has opened up, you can build a real safety net without the risk of the credit card waiting to absorb every setback. 3 months of expenses for a household with stable dual income and strong job security. 6 months for a single income household, variable income, commission-based work, or any situation where income could be disrupted without warning. Keep this money in a high-yield savings account. Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally, Bank, SoFi, earning between 4 and 5% APY. Not the stock market, not a CD that locks the money away. Liquid, accessible, working against inflation while it waits. When this step is complete, something shifts. The financial anxiety that has been running in the background of daily life, the low-grade stress of knowing one bad month could derail everything, goes quiet. You are not wealthy yet, but you are stable, and stable is the platform everything else is built on. Step 4. Invest 15% of household income for retirement, not 10%, not whatever is left. 15%. Consistent. Every month. Before anything else gets funded. Here is the sequence within the step, because the order matters here too. First, contribute to your employer-sponsored 401k up to the full employer match. If your employer matches 3% of your salary and you contribute 3%, you are getting a 100% instant return on those dollars. No investment in the world reliably beats that. Capture the full match before anything else. Second, max your Roth IRA. In 2024, the contribution limit is $7,000 annually, $583 per month. The Roth grows completely tax-free. Every dollar it produces over the next 20 or 30 years comes out at retirement without a tax bill attached. For most middle-income households, the Roth IRA is the single most powerful retirement vehicle available. Third, if you have not reached 15% of income through the match and the Roth alone, go back to the traditional 401k and contribute until you hit 15% total. Invest in low-cost diversified stock mutual funds or index funds. S&P 500 index funds, total market funds, expense ratios under 0.10%. Leave it alone for decades. At $55,000 household income, 15% is $687 per month. At $75,000, it is $937 per month. These are achievable numbers for households that completed steps 1 through 3 and have no debt payments consuming their cash flow. Without car payments, credit card minimums, and student loan bills, the monthly cash flow available for Step 4 appears almost automatically. Step 5. Save for your children's college education, simultaneously with Step 4, not before it. The reason is simple, and the advisor who created this framework said it best. There is a 100% chance you are going to retire. There is a less than 50% chance your child is going to graduate from college. Fund the certainty before the possibility. A 529 college savings plan is the primary vehicle here. Contributions grow tax-free when used for qualified education expenses. The amount depends on how old your child is and what your college funding goals are. A child born today needs approximately 18 years of contributions to reach a meaningful college fund. A child 3 years from college enrollment needs a different calculation entirely. The goal is for your children to graduate debt-free, not because you funded a prestigious private university, because you planned far enough in advance that in-state school, community college for 2 years, scholarships and part-time work combine into a path that does not require signing papers for $40,000 in student loans at 18 years old. Step 6. Pay off the mortgage early. The house is the last debt, and it is the most emotionally significant one. Paying it off early, throwing every available dollar above the minimum payment at the principal each month, does 2 things that no other financial step does simultaneously. It eliminates the largest monthly fixed expense in most household budgets, and it creates a moment, usually around year 7 or 8, for households following this framework with consistency, where the monthly cash flow increases by the full amount of the former mortgage payment. That freed cash flow, redirected entirely to Step 7, is what turns a disciplined saver into a genuine wealth builder in the final stretch. The average household following this full framework pays off their mortgage in approximately 7 to 8 years from the point they reach Step 6. The full program from Step 1 through Step 6 takes most families approximately 10 years from start to finish. 10 years of focused, sequential financial decisions that most people spend their entire adult lives avoiding. Step 7. Build wealth and give generously. No mortgage, no debt. A fully funded emergency fund. 15% income already flowing to retirement accounts every month. College funded, the house paid off. What remains is everything. Every dollar of income above living expenses is now available for wealth building without a single payment obligation attached to it. Increase retirement contributions. Open taxable brokerage accounts. Build rental income. Give to causes that matter. Travel. Help your children. Leave something behind. This is the step most people dream about, and the step the previous 6 make possible. It is not available as a shortcut. It is available as a destination. The path is the 6 steps that come before it. Here is why the sequence works and why skipping steps is so expensive. Every step solves a specific problem that would otherwise undermine the step that follows. The starter emergency fund prevents debt from resetting during the payoff process. The debt payoff frees cash flow for the full emergency fund. The full emergency fund creates the stability required to invest without panic selling during market downturns. The retirement investment happens before college funding because retirement cannot be borrowed for, but college can. The mortgage payoff comes last because it is the lowest cost debt, and the market return on investments typically exceeds the mortgage interest rate during the investing years. Remove any step or reorder them, and the system develops a structural weakness that eventually causes it to fail. People who skip the emergency fund and go straight to debt payoff end up back in credit card debt within the first unexpected expense. People who invest before eliminating high-interest debt are paying 21% interest while earning 10% returns, a guaranteed negative spread. People who fund college before retirement are borrowing their own financial security to give their child a head start. The sequence is not arbitrary. It is engineered around the specific ways that financial plans actually fail in real life for real people, on real incomes. Here is the honest reality check for where most people are right now. If you have no emergency fund and carry credit card debt, you are in steps 1 and 2. The investing conversation is premature, not because investing is not important. It is critically important. But because paying 21% interest on a credit card balance while earning 10% in the market is a guaranteed wealth-destroying position. Get stable first. Invest aggressively after. If you have an emergency fund but still carry consumer debt, you are in step 2. The answer is not to split the available cash between debt and investing. It is to eliminate the debt with intensity and start investing properly in step 4. The math of high-interest debt versus market returns makes this clear. If you are debt-free with a funded emergency fund and not yet investing 15%, you are at the step 4 starting line. Open the Roth IRA today. Set up the automatic contribution. The time you have already lost to not investing cannot be recovered. The time that remains can be used fully starting today. Here is your challenge for the next 24 hours. Identify which step you are actually on right now, not which step you wish you were on, not which step feels most interesting to work on. The step you are actually on based on your current financial position. Write it down. Then do one concrete thing today to move that step forward. Open the savings account for the starter emergency fund if you do not have $1,000 set aside. List your debt smallest to largest if you are in step 2. Open the Roth IRA if you are in step 4 and have not started yet. One step, one action, today. Because the 10-year path to financial freedom does not start at step 7. It starts at step 1. And step 1 starts the day you stop waiting for a better time to begin. If this gave you the sequence you have been missing, share this video with someone who is doing all the right things in the wrong order. And if you want practical financial content every single week, the frameworks, the math, and the real-world plans that actually work on normal incomes, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Every week we publish content designed to help you take the right step at the right time. You should not be figuring this out alone.